In Rio Festival brought in top acts like Taylor Swift, Metallica, Bruno Mars. The site at the corner of Las Vegas Boulevard and Sahara, owned by MGM Resorts, was created just for the Music Fest and was used here and there for some other things. So we wonder what now. The Rock in Rio was supposed to return. John Katsilometes from the Review Journal is here to tell us more about that, because I know there have been some developments. You've been working on this for a while.
Yeah, it's like my almost weekly
check-in
check-in with the folks over at the MGM Resorts and the Rock in Rio team too, over time, to see what's going to happen. You know, after the festival underperformed pretty poorly in May of 2015, lost a lot more money than anybody really projected.
Sure.
And there was talk then that the way that it unfolded would put the next festival scheduled for the United States, which was May of 2017 in Las Vegas, in jeopardy, and it has. And Rock in Rio's not coming back. We've had MGM Resorts officials confirm that last week. Wow. So no Rock in Rio in May of this year, nothing happening in Rock in Rio in Las Vegas in 17 at this moment. And yeah, it was a fun time. It was very well received. I think that a lot of people who attended the festival enjoyed it. The bands, the headliners you mentioned were great, and also the Rock Street USA vibe there. There's some live bands that were, a lot of local musicians were put to work there. That was a lot of fun.
Sure.
It had a big Ferris wheel, a zip line over the top,
yeah,
great
it was a big
food.
Thing.
It was cool. It was very clean, very well presented. They got lucky with the weather. The only problem they really had was some confusion with the parking, of course, on a first-year event, and the Ferris wheel on the wheel went down on the first weekend because of some computer problems. But otherwise, it was came off as advertised.
And it's interesting because when they booked the festival, they said, well, and everyone's like, well, they've been redoing this parcel of land, and they're doing it just for one music festival? This is really all out.
It was primarily built, and people are still calling it the Rock in Rio site, even
right.
though it's MGM Resorts Festival Grounds. They've made sure to talk about it. But even Jim Murin has referred to it, who's the head of MGM Resorts Entertainment, has referred to it offhandedly as the Rock in Rio site. They want to do more things there, and that was the idea, even including sporting events and you know, all kinds of festivals, and it hasn't panned out for a lot of reasons. And they've taken, as I said in the column, they've taken the speaker stands off that site and put them at the park, at Toshiba Plaza at the park at T-Mobile.
Sure.
And that gives you an indication that there's not a lot of activity there. They had the ACM Party for a Cause festival this year in conjunction with the ACM Awards show at T-Mobile Arena, and that was you know, that was the only other festival that they've had there at all, and nothing scheduled on a 50-acre lot on the Strip.
All right, so we'll stay tuned to you, Katz. I know you're going to find some answers there when it does happen. Also, Ringo Starr coming to the Smith Center on Sunday night, right?
Yeah, he's going to be here on November 13th, 7:30 p.m. at Reynolds Hall. He's played all kinds of different venues in Las Vegas. He's fond of the city. He told a great story about his idea for a residency show. We're talking about like one of those 9 to 12 show residencies over a couple of months, and he's I want to call it the Golden Drums, which was a takeoff of Elton John's Red Piano.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
The $1 million piano, the $1 million drums, and but he'll be here. It's the first time he's performed at Reynolds Hall, and Myron Martin, who's the president of the Smith Center, said he wanted to get a Beatle to perform at Reynolds Hall, and they got Ringo.
He got Ringo.
So he's got his all-star band. It's been together for now for 5 years, a lineup that is full of rock legends.
Yeah.
And Ringo gets it. He plays his songs, his great songs with the Beatles, his solo songs, and then he lets the band take over, and he plays drums.
All right. Well, there's some really cool holiday things coming up that we'll talk about next week. But if you want to check out Kat's column, he's got it all in there. It's in the Review Journal. It's called Cats.
Cats!
You'll be back. It was a funky day today because of the election, but you'll be back next Wednesday.
It's always funky with cats.
Stay with us.